Hello, happy people. Welcome to your Moment of Zed, the YouTube channel dedicated to the most beautiful car in the world, the BMW Z3. I'm still Mark, and today I wanted to take the opportunity to do a couple things. Kind of calling this episode The Good, the Bad, and the Beautiful. Wanted to talk about this car's beautiful design, and then I kind of wanted to take a deep dive into the details of the Z3 for folks that maybe are thinking of purchasing one but haven't yet. And I also wanted to kind of make a list of things I need to do to this car in the future that'll be part of future videos. And if you already own a Z3, I think you're going to find that a lot of the things this car needs, maybe your car needs, or maybe your car needed in the past, and you've done it. Please comment on these things down below in the comments. If you've seen some similarities between your Z and my Z, I'd certainly like to hear about it. So let's talk about the beautiful first. The car's design starting at the front. Now obviously the Z3 was made to compete with the Miata, and if you look at NA Miatas, they're probably the happiest looking cars in the world. They look like puppy dogs, especially with the headlights popped up. They look like little puppy dogs. They're going to come and the tongue's going to slide out of the grill and lick your face. This grill looks a little bit more aggressive, or the front of this car looks a little bit more aggressive than that. It's kind of, I think, saying, hey, let's go out and kick some butt. But it's not overly aggressive, I think, like cars nowadays. If you look at cars made in recent years, those cars seem to be saying, as you look at the front, hey, I'm going to sneak in through the garage and eat your children. They're almost scary. But the Z3 is not that way. It's purposeful, but not overly so. So let's kind of take a look down the side. And if we take a look, number one, there's 16-inch wheels on this car. And for nowadays, that's a very small wheel. Back in 1998, that was not huge, but sizable. I suppose you could put bigger wheels on this thing, but I don't think there's any reason to personally. As you come further back, of course, you've got another rondelle. Certainly BMW does spend a lot of time in the Z3 reminding you that it's a BMW. And you have these side vents. Now, I've read a lot about the side vents online, and it's hard to tell whether they have a purpose or not, but we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Of course, if you own a Z3, you already know that a lot of people just call these the gills, kind of resemble a gill on a fish. If I take a little walk further out, to the general shape of the car, it's kind of narrow on the side, like you'd expect a Roadster to be. Certainly, there are some, I guess, traits of the Miata that it was built to compete with as far as the general shape, but it's certainly not a direct copy. Taking a look at the back, it's got a nice clean design in the back. There's another rondelle, of course, because you don't want to forget it's a BMW, and it does have the chrome Z3 on it. One thing about the 1.9 liter is they don't put an engine size on the other side of the rear deck. If you have a 6-cylinder, typically they do 2.3 or 2.8 or whatever the case may be. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trunk, what there is of it anyways. Trunk opens easily with the push of a button. Now, of course, this is a Roadster, so the trunk is not all that sizable. It is 6.4 square feet. I carry a little toolbox with spare tools and some spare parts. On another video, I'll kind of go into what's a good idea to carry with you. Always a good idea to carry some stuff in a older vehicle. Trunk, mine is in pretty good shape. And then I have the built-in CD player right there that is not working, unfortunately. So that is going to go on the list of things to do. We're going to try and get that CD working, just because I like CDs. Go over to the other side of the trunk, and if you kind of peel back the carpeting / side panel, you see the mechanical part of the automatic top. Now, my automatic top is not working, so we're going to put that on the list. Down below here, there's a little screw you can unscrew to take some of the pressure off, so it makes it easier to do manually. It's still not that easy to raise and lower the top, or to raise the top manually, but it can be done. I know a lot of people just remove this because it's pretty easy to, if you had a manual top, you didn't get the automatic, it's pretty easy to do, and I could pull all that stuff off, take all the pressure off the top. I know some people do that, and it would be easier to do it manually. But my thought is, it's only original once, and I don't want to start taking parts off of it. So I'm going to try and fix that in another episode. And if we go under here, we have the battery. Fortunately, my battery, I think, was recently replaced by another owner. And then you have the tool set. Mine is almost complete, but not quite. I'm looking for looking to complete that soon. But I have everything I need to change the tire. And we'll go into that another day, how to change the tire on this. I know for many of you, it'll be very obvious, but and you've done it, but for some of us, maybe not so much. Working our way over to this side of the car, kind of wanted to show something else that's wrong with my car that we're going to fix in another video. And right here, and it may be hard to see because this isn't the greatest camera in the world, but there's kind of a trim piece that goes around the door handle, the main part of the door handle, the part that doesn't move, this part, and this is all cracked and deteriorated. It's just plastic. I can remove it if I need to just by flaking it away, but haven't seen any videos online about replacing that, but I am going to replace that, and I will make a video about it when I do. I'm just hoping this snaps in and it doesn't entail removing all of this. Hopefully it doesn't. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interior of the car. Again, the door cards on this are in really good shape, and you will see the dimple leather, as it's called here. So this is leather. I think this is a vinyl, but this is actual leather, and it's called dimple leather. Now, some people, I've watched other videos about this, comments about the dimple leather online, and they say it looks like the upholstery in a house of ill repute. I wouldn't know anything about that, have no personal experience, but regardless, I think it looks good. And of course, it does carry over to the seats themselves, mostly in this dimpled leather. I'm pretty fortunate my seats are in pretty good shape. There is some wear on the bolster and this part of the back, which isn't surprising because you really kind of have to slide in to the Z3 to get into it. It's very hard unless you have use of the force to levitate into it without scraping against these areas. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So as you go to the interior of the Z3, one thing you see is it's fairly simple. The gauges are fairly simple. You have what you need, and it fits well in between the spokes of the steering wheel. It's a 4-spoke steering wheel. You get another rondelle here, of course. You don't want to forget you're in a BMW. One complaint that many people talk about in the Z3 is the use of plastic. There is a lot of, I guess, kind of less than expensive plastic used throughout the interior, unfortunately, and this causes some issues. I guess the big issue that many people have, and you can kind of see it in this area, there is a gap that's formed where the glove box door hinges or latches into the upper part of the lower part of the dash. And this is a problem on just common, well-known for Z3s. There is a kit to fix it, and I will buy that kit, and we will do that in another video. Looking toward the center stack and the center console, couple things on my list. Number one, you may notice that my radio knob's missing. That is here in the car. It's underneath the driver's seat. And if you've ever reached underneath the driver's seat in a Z3, you would know that there's no real room. I can't see the thing. It fell under there. It was loose. I knew it was loose. I had it there. I pushed the button and it kind of stuck to my finger a little bit and then fell and into the great unknown. So I will have to remove both of my seats because I need to put new bushings in them because they're kind of loose. So that's another thing on our list of things to do, and I'll make a video about that as well. But the radio itself, two problems. Number one, you can turn this thing on just by pushing this, even though the knob's not there, and you could turn it and change the volume. But on mine, the volume doesn't work. Now, if you're a young person, you'd probably say, well, why the heck would you keep that stupid radio anyways? Pull it out and put in something that has Bluetooth, something modern. And I'll tell you, this radio, if it were working correctly, and again, I think I mentioned that the CD doesn't work either, so we're going to have probably a couple videos about pulling this radio out, which is not very difficult. There's access right here and here, and there's apparently a torque screw or bolt behind that, and the radio will slide out quite easily. My only thing is I'm not sure if there's any way to fix this part of the radio, or someone can fix it that I can send it out to, but we're going to find that out. I want to keep the original radio. I like it. Why? Because I can do everything I need to do on here without looking, without taking my eyes off the road. I don't want to cause an accident, especially when I'm the smallest thing that's going to be getting hit. So I'd rather just reach down and know where my controls are, and it's harder to do on the new radios, I think. I had a radio in Old Blue, my old pickup truck, which I discussed in a previous video, and it had a remote. And it kind of blew my mind that something that was within easy reach of your fingers needed a remote, but it did, because literally the buttons were like Tic Tac size or smaller, and you couldn't see it, and you'd have to look at it, and that just drives me crazy when you're rolling down the road. You should be as undistracted as you can be. So I want to keep this radio. This kind of radio I grew up with. I like it. As you look at the other controls, they're pretty obvious. You've got AC, your top, up, and down, which on this, again, doesn't work. That's going to be another video. I want to try and fix that. The heated seats do work, so that's kind of nice on a cold day. I've got, I guess, the non-smokers package, which is, back in the day was just, instead of a lighter, you got a little cap so stuff wouldn't fall into the electrical, the cigarette lighter, the outlet there. The 5-speed stick, which I discussed in a previous video. The stick itself, it has got a nice notchiness to it. It's very sure of where you're going. As far as, between the gears, there's not a lot of slop there. One thing I found, though, is that 5th gear, when it's cold, getting it over and up, it is a bit too notchy. It's sometimes difficult, and you kind of misshift a little bit, but eventually when it warms up, that goes away. It does have the weird kind of BMW reverse gear where you have to go way over and then up to go in reverse. I've never been a big fan of going up to go in reverse. It seems counterintuitive, but that's the way BMW works it. Passenger seat is in very good shape, better than the driver's seat, and all the leather in here is pretty good. And I use a Meguiar's leather treatment. That seems to work very well. I'll show it in a future video, just so you can kind of get an idea of maybe something you can use. And sorry, looks like my mask from work today is still in there. Oops. As far as the storage goes here in the center, there isn't much, and this has been a complaint of early Z3 owners for a while. That number one, there isn't much storage. Number two, the plastic it's made out of, again, is kind of chintzy. Again, a complaint of the interior in general. Because this was at the time this was sold, this was about a $28,000 car. And in 1998, when you convert it to today's dollars, that's like 48 to 50,000. So this is a $50,000 car. Again, in today's money, and I think at $50,000 we expect a little bit better out of our interior. So that's a common Z3 complaint. Now there's 2 screws takes this out. I've taken it out to clean it before, to give it a good cleaning, and there are aftermarket ones that kind of put the box back here and one bigger cup holder up front. Because with this thing, two things about it. This thing's fine. These two cup holders barely hold cups of any size. I have some really tiny travel mugs because I'm a morning coffee guy, and they work, but just barely. And then to actually get your coffee, you almost have to reach backwards. You need to take your eyes off the road to get it with your right hand, or you need to reach all the way across your body with your left hand. It's very awkward. It doesn't work well. And again, you can buy aftermarket ones where there's a bigger cup holder up front that would work better, be more natural. So I may get that. They're not really cheap, so someday I may get that. And when I do, I'll do a video about it and show you the installation. Should be very easy. Again, it's only 2 screws. Another thing I forgot to mention, common problem in Z3s is the temperature adjustment knob. It's very simple. All the controls on the Z3 are very simple, very intuitive, especially if you're used to driving cars from the 80s and the 90s, and I love that about the Z3. The problem is, and this is a common problem amongst all of them, this thing gets sticky. Apparently there's a cable this is attached to, and it's a very common issue. So when I have the radio out, you have to take the radio out to get to the innards of the control knob. When I have the radio out and I try and fix that, I will also try to fix the control knob. Again, that will all be in a future video. It's all on the list. If you look at the toe box here of the Z3, and excuse my camera angle, it's the spacing's just about perfect. This thing shifts very easily. It's not awkward, no matter what size shoe you have. Again, my only complaint when we're talking about bad things on this car, again, the chintzy plastic. This dead pedal is cracked. It's very thin. No big deal. It just makes a noise if you step into it a little too hard. Not the end of the world. I think that's about it for... Oh, the other thing in the interior, and again, I'm pretty having trouble with my tunes because not only can't I adjust the radio volume, and it's set for pretty loud, but this speaker, I guess this is the subwoofer, and it's not any size, and I'm no big stereo guy. I enjoy my music like anybody else, but this is cracked and it's very obvious and it sounds terrible, so I don't even play music right now. I will do a video about replacing this, and I just got to figure out how to get this off. And of course, again, this is kind of that chintzy plastic that's used in the Z3. Anytime I've got to pry at plastic or whatever to get it off, I worry that it's going to crack now that it's 23 years old. But again, overall, I'm happy with the interior. It's in good shape. It's well laid out. I wish it was maybe a little bit better made, but it is what it is. So while we're in here, let's wrap up. Well, actually, let's go ahead and go to the engine compartment, take a look. I know if you're looking at the car, and it may not be obvious on the video, but the car's a little dirty. Pollen season has just started here in Florida, and I haven't had a chance to wash the car yet. Usually wash the car Saturday mornings. It's Thursday afternoon, and I'm making this video because I have to work Saturday morning. I won't be able to do anything with the car. Again, on those vents, they do come through into the kind of sort of, you know, they really don't do anything, but they look really cool. And I've seen people replace the body colored ones with chrome ones, and I've seen different colored ones, black, whatever. I kind of like to stick with the original. Again, it's only original once. Taking a look at the motor itself, there's that bad boy, the 1.9, and unlike modern BMWs and modern cars in general that are completely covered with plastic, you can kind of see what's going on here in the engine compartment. I'm not going to go do a deep dive into the parts. My engine compartment is very clean, and I'm very happy with that, coming from the last vehicle I had, which wasn't. There's no rust, no dirt. It's in really good shape, and I'm very happy with it. And some common complaints again with BMWs, a lot of the cooling system parts, are made out of plastic. This, the reservoir for the coolant itself is made out of plastic, and this has been a common complaint. Knock on wood, mine is, I'm not even going to say it's not leaking. Let's just pretend it's leaking and I won't jinx myself. So, again, that's the bad boy 1.9 straight 4. I'm sure we'll be doing some stuff to this as time goes on, and we'll make some videos about that. All right, last thing to do is start it up, and this is going to reveal some of the more, I guess, critical things on the list that I have to do. But again, nothing that's all that bad. We'll jump back in, and I'll try and get a decent camera angle on the dash. All right, there we go, and all lights work. As you can see, she starts right up. She has a good idle, and she's probably still fairly warm from when I brought her home from work, which wasn't that long ago. One thing you'll notice, a couple problems that aren't that uncommon. Well, this is the parking brake light, so I can take that off. But the airbag light you can see on the right is on. This was on when I bought it. I researched this, and apparently underneath the passenger seat there's a connection that oftentimes just an electrical connection that comes apart as the seats move back and forth, and once you plug that back together, all you have to do is, there's a $29 it's almost like an OBDII reader, but it connects to a port underneath the hood, not inside the car. And for $29, they sell it on Amazon. I'll look up the name, I'll do a video on it. You can just plug it in and basically tell the light to shut off, and it'll be done. Now my other issue, and you can probably hear it and see it, the check engine light's on, and that was not on when I bought the car. It came on a week or two ago now, and I know it's not a good idea to run around with your check engine light on, but I'm confident enough in being able to read the car and tell what's going on with it that I already know my problem. If you kind of listen to the car, and again, I don't know how well you can hear it, it has a pretty distinct rattle to it that it shouldn't have. The motor, the engine itself sounds good, but the rattle, and I already know this because I got underneath and looked at it, and on a future video we'll look at it some more, the catalytic converter is rattling, and that is probably going to be a bigger project. It's rattling probably because this car, I think, was not run all that often, and by previous owners it was kind of a weekend car, and it just kind of sat. And I think there was moisture in the catalytic converter, I'm kind of guessing, and it started to eat out the insides of it. So when I started driving it every day, it kind of started to rattle more and more and more, and whatever is inside the catalytic converter, I think, is loose. And of course, I think that has to do with the check engine light, as it's probably an O2 sensor, I'm guessing the one after the catalytic converter, that's going to tell me there's something wrong with my emissions. That's my guess. I could run it down to AutoZone and have them look at it, and I may do that, but I think what I'd rather do is buy one of these OBDII sensors that connects to the car and just gives you the information on your phone, an app on your phone. So I think I'm going to buy one of those and do a video about that, about troubleshooting this thing. And hey, you know, with any of these issues, if you own a Z3 and you've had these issues and you've solved these issues, hey, please put that in the comments for us, okay? And share your information, share some knowledge, because that's another thing I like to do here. I'm going to learn everything I can about this car and present it as I do it, do all the work on this car and put it all on this channel. But if you've already done this stuff and you know stuff, please put it in the comments and let everyone take a look at it. So there you have it, kind of a deep dive into the Z3 itself. For those of you who may be thinking of getting one, some kind of common issues they have and some things to look at. For those of you who already have one, and again, have had some of the issues I'm having, if you please comment about that, I certainly appreciate it. Love to hear about it. And also, the list of things I need to do on this is going to be in the description, so you can check that out. And that's kind of going to be a roadmap to future videos as far as what we're going to do. And future videos are also going to be much more in-depth as far as product testing and, again, fixing all these very minor issues with the Z3. So come join me again when we start to dig into this stuff. Till then, thank you very much for your time. If you liked what you saw, again, please hit the like button. It's absolutely free. And we'll see you next time. Till then, drive safe.